Welcome back to the GG.Bet New York Invitational. We do have the second map, of course, of this series, this winners match between OpTic and Winstrike. We're going to Vertigo. We had a pretty crazy affair on train. I'm imagining a similar situation here for map 2.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be similar in the sense because we're going to see both teams playing well, or if it's going to be both teams being confused. Yeah, exactly, right? Because we're going into... This is the first time for both of us seeing the new updated Vertigo being in play by 2 pro teams. I mean, we've had our fun running around on the map, playing, matchmaking or face it, what have you, right? But it's obviously not going to be the same thing. They've hopefully put in more work than we have onto the map.
It's not hard.
No, and it's going to be fun to see what they've come up with, right? If there's any new revolutionary smokes, executes, that kind of thing that's been allowed to now come to fruition because of the changes to either mid or to obviously the B-bomb site. I'm looking forward to it for that very reason in itself. So regardless of results, I'm going to keep my eyes closed, or not closed, keep my eyes open and be like on the lookout for something new and refreshing, because obviously that's part of the fun with having a new map into the map pool.
Yeah, definitely. I love the change outside of B where you've got that gap where you can throw in utility from T-spawn, safely throw nades. So many times you would see T setting up around the B stairs where they're throwing utility and the CTs would just get aggressive. Well, that's now at least no longer a problem to the same extent.
I also love the fact that they've extended the platform after you get up the stairs on B, so there's a little bit more wiggle room. They've also shortened the length of the box that I guess used to be triple box on the B bomb site. That's now narrowed down, so it's not as good of a hiding spot in that sense for the CTs. So they've changed things up and made life a little bit different for both sides. We're not sure if it's actually going to be a benefit or not to the T or CT sides. We'll find out, though. We'll learn as we go.
They've moved T-spawn further back, so that means the contact points will be later. It means the CTs can get further.
Yeah, that's also really good.
I think we're going to see more sandbags play than ever with the CTs now being able to get there faster, but we'll keep our eyes open, not closed.
Yeah.
As OpTic walk up towards this A site. OpTic's going to be spotting from the boost, but...
Is it just going to walk the entire way? No, okay, there we go. Utility brought out. They also have 2 Molotovs.
Ooh. Okay, I think OpTic have done more work on this map than maybe we expected. Already full execute towards the site. Cajun does get shot through the smoke. Edward playing with the corner of his. That bomb getting planted. 4-on-4 in the retake here for Winstrike. Kvik will find first blood in that 4-on-4. Tess is still pushed up inside of the site, though. Got to be very careful here.
This is an awkward angle in case he can get spotted out from the short end there. Does so as well. Has to move himself out. Still gets a kill. It's really impressive. A second one to boot. Now all of a sudden, 1 man left alive. Tess just goes down. Time is starting to take away from it. Damn.
Later, nerd.
Easy
has
peasy.
Been really impressive to me.
He's been really good today.
What we've seen, yeah.
Absolutely. He's been a little bit on and off in the previous invitationals we've seen OpTic in, but again, it's hard to kind of find your place when I guess there's turmoil around the team. Everybody had heard the rumors of opting, being sold. Therefore, they couldn't have the Counter-Strike team anymore. Uncertainty about whether they have a home or not. All those kind of things come into play. Odds still going to favor OpTic here from GG.Bet on Winstrike's map pick. This is also one of the cool new additions. This is Cajun. It's kind of like, what the hell is this? I'm going to need to be worried about this area, and I mean for good reason.
I think they haven't gotten on top of maybe the new changes.
Yes, and that's one of the things. I'm a little so just for entertainment's sake. I can see obviously because OpTic are looking to win this. They just want to get out of this group stage, first place, and be in the playoffs. And because the A-bomb side is unchanged, they might just do 15 A executes in a row.
Very possible. Very, very possible. Scout getting taken down in upper. OpTic will be able to get a plant in. Edward, he's still on the boost. He gets one. Nice shots though, and Kvik coming in on the back line does.
Cajun knew. He knew it was a possibility when he saw the ladder.
Yeah.
Still got him.
Didn't know where the ladder was though. It's deeper than you think. I like that little room as well. That's kind of cool.
It's really good. I actually really like the changes that they made to Vertigo so far. I think that there is a bit of an issue in terms of how you make rotations or how you set up fakes as a T side, considering the fact that you're literally running below the CTs at any given point. So being able to make swift rotations is really tough to do on this map because of how sound works. But it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Ways. If that's the thing, it goes both ways. As Ts, you can hear CTs rotate if they run. So throwing in like 2-man fakes and having 3 outside of B, for example, you can definitely hear those rotations.
No, absolutely, that's very true. But usually it's more on the Ts to be able to force a proper rotation, right? Yeah. So we're just going to be curious to see how that pans out. But again, what everyone needs to keep in mind with a map like Vertigo and just any map that comes into the map pool in general is the fact that it's not going to be great at the start. If people were around when I mean, if you want to go back to the initial maps that Valve released that had fog on them, I mean, that's an entirely different thing in itself, that it was just impossible to see people on at distances. And obviously, yeah, Overpass was a garbage map when it first came out.
Norbert's in the cubby. They haven't checked it. Oh, dear. Big mistake. He gets a double D. Nico with a trade.
Oh, nice.
The pistol's out and through the cone as well, getting coned. This is not a force buy round. This is an eco round.
Yeah, this is the first time OpTic decided to go towards B as well.
Yeah, I think you're right with that A call.
Maybe they should have stuck to what they knew. But it's important to try things out, right? Like, see what's around the map. Also with the changes, right? It changes up the potential backstab paths and rotations you can make as a CT. The fact that you don't have to drop down through the elevator shaft anymore. That's gone. Now you've got the ladder, as we saw previously, that quick used. Ooh, Cajun getting up close and personal. Ooh. There we go. Still going to be able to hold off on the side of Winstrike. So they bring it back here, and they also hold on to 2 AKs.
On B, can you still walk around that rail on the left?
Edge?
On the edge, yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure that's gone.
Yeah, because I noticed they removed, where Norbert's standing here, there used to be like a little box of, not a box, but something, some platform. I'm glad that's gone. That was annoying, because you'd have to like jump over it to get round.
Yeah. You could do some cool stuff as a T, though. Like, you have the big box over there. You can actually basically set up in a tower there with one player crouched at the bottom and spot into the upper bomb side. You get pretty good angle on the blue boxes. There is cool stuff you can do to it. You cannot boost from underneath on top to the railing anymore, like we saw G2 do a couple of times. Yeah. So that's gone. We'll see. Maybe it's possible with the run boost from big box, but yeah. Added or changed up a fair few things here on the B side. So OpTic, they've learned that they've seen where the bomb site is. They know that there's a new staircase, just like there's a new ladder room, but didn't feel too comfortable about that, so they're going to head back to A. Their weaponry is not that great, but they do have utility.
Lots of it. Bonding's going to need to throw down a smoke next to him to keep him covered. We'll hide around the left side of it. They move through, and he sprays and prays. Does get one. Pistol's got to come out, though, because they're still chasing him down. He'll get caught in the reload. MSL pushing in through that smoke. Tessa's waiting, trying to cover that plant, and it will go down successfully. It's not great for ramp. It's at least for the gap in the wood. But Winstrike have the numbers to retake here, 4 on 4.
Low HP on one of the players, though. Quick's going to find the first kill. Backstab averted.
Is that box on top of the forklift? I wonder if that's still as much of a horrible angle as it was.
Yeah.
Even though the forklift's now been moved. But retake is still on. Winstrike need to hurry up. 15 seconds left on this bomb. They do have a kit to play with, but 3 players still standing. Edward realizes he needs to tap that defuse. If anything, they need to stick the defuse because they really are running out of time. Tessa's getting aggressive. Edward's got the time. I think he might have it, but csgo coming in with a backstab, cleaning up the round. Winstrike definitely taking their time on that one.
Yeah, a little bit too much time. As you said, they had kits to play with, but they let that stretch out a little bit too far, and that sends them back actually to a really rough spot here. You can see 2 of the players sitting up enough money to rebuy here. Quick could potentially drop a weapon as well, but I feel like that's a pretty big investment to make at this stage of the game.
Yeah, tempting to even just eco or throw over pistols and save the orb.
Yeah, exactly. Do that.
Round.
Go that route about it. And yeah, you can see Cajun.
It's
really, really tough to deal with as a CT rotating through. And judging off of what we've seen, obviously very small sample size, but I think we're going to see OpTic more or less focus on the A-bomb set. They have the utility to deal with it. They have the Molotovs in place to deal with, I guess if you want to call it the boost boxes at the corner of the back of the site. They have everything to clear things out for them to more or less secure them a bomb plant each and every time. And unless we see some aggressive play from Winstrike, as you said, sandbag drops could very well be a thing now, considering the spawn has been moved further back on the T side.
Yeah.
It's going to allow for the CTs to head of timing. It's going to be curious to see how they pan with it, or play out with it.
MSL quick below B. We saw Cajun climb that ladder to middle. Or at least get towards the ladder. I don't know if he climbed it. I'd love to see the timing on, a fast ladder climb versus just a top mid run. I need to test that.
It's a lot slower with the ladder push.
Slower?
Yeah, it's a fair bit slower.
Okay.
But again, it gives you a different angle. Also, it lets you get a new, I guess, angle on people because it's very typical for CTs. Oh, that's a nice shot from Norbert. It's very typical for CT sides to put down the aggressive Molotov, and you can't really do much with it. You kind of have to give up the map control over that area. If they smoke up behind it, you can already have CTs potentially dropping down what was elevator shaft and so on off the back of it. Now you actually have an angle where you can still see any CTs trying to get aggressive behind the Molotov or smoke that's gone deep.
this full buy right now for Winstrike is working out.
Config's duel versus Quick did not go the way you wanted, but we're going back to A.
Classic, really.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, Vertigo hasn't really changed up that much. But I guess this is just because of the familiarity teams have with it, right? So they're going to throw out their Molotovs, they're going to throw out their smokes. Oh, hits the leg.
Does follow up, though. Quick shots from Ali and spots another and even drops the bomb as well. Fantastic AWP work. He's getting pushed from Cajun up close. They line up, and Cajun's got them both. There's Norbert on the smoke. Just needs to take his time. 15 seconds for this plant to come through, and that smoke will fade before that timer runs out. So Cajun needs to keep his eyes trained, but he looks away. Norbert with both, and that's 3 kills in the round as well. That opening pick down on B, and the final 2 to pick up Winstrike's second.
And that was without a full commitment, right? From
No, it was.
No,
it was
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, no.
Yeah, they bought an AWP, they bought a rifle
behind it, yeah.
and a bunch of pistols.
They made that work. 3 kills on Norbert with the Deagle, actually. I think it's the 2 AWP kills on Elian that actually salvages everything. You think everything is going to go awry once he gets the tag through the concrete block. Doesn't get the full kill on Testis. The fact that he's so quick to actually get the follow-up saves them a little bit, even though Cajun comes back to get a double swing for OpTic.
Oh, very deep smoke, but Edward's got a gap through it. He can see players moving through. That nade could be chunky. SMG behind it as well. OpTic have shown a lot of players up towards this A site. We should see a lot of rotates as a result. Nico with 1. Trade is quick, but Tessa's mid-air, Tech 9 onto Edward. Going through the smoke is a risky one with the AWP, so he'll decide against it. Norman is spotted on the flank, but there are 2 players down below, and do they realize that? Surely they do. At this point, OpTic could even try and just get aggressive in this post plant, deal with the AWP, and not worry about the ramp flank. But they've got sandbags, so they're going to use it to their advantage. Nico baiting them in, the Deagle coming through. Cajun needs 1 more bullet to land on Norbert. Oh, not enough, 4 HP. And Tessis now has to close out the 1v1. Takes a Mac 10. Honestly, a good choice in this position. And Norbert, good luck. He's not going to get a chance.
It's very smart by Tessis there. Immediately recognizes the situation with Cajun tagging him up, as you said. Could have been 1 Deagle shot to finish it off, but when it doesn't, you know he's down to single digits HP. OpTic bringing it right back again with an A take. It's pretty vital information as well, the fact that they recognized immediately the fact that Norbert and Quick was rotating from behind. Even though they didn't decide to go aggressive, still works out for OpTic.
You know what this map is missing?
Do tell.
The ability to jump from CT spawn into T spawn.
like with the old, like with the old Vertigo. I guess you can't do that jump anymore, but you could potentially jump out and hope for the best while you're spraying on your way out, right? Maybe you get lucky.
Nah, they're on the other side of the map.
Oh god,
they
no, it's there.
Yeah.
For a second, like I guess geography of the map just.
Yeah, they realized that even if that was an option to fall and shoot,
that would have been so hilarious.
Would do that.
Oh yeah,
like just buy a Negev and just drop and hold left click, you know.
So you start holding it, so you get the accurate spray.
I mean, how much accuracy do you have mid-air falling out of a 50-story building? I don't know. Probably not much.
I'm kind of curious now. How was that? Because for the longest time in Counter-Strike, it used to be the way if you walked off a height and fell, your accuracy was accurate.
Really?
Yeah, it was 100% accurate.
That in Go?
If you just like fell down from an area, let's say you played Heaven on Train, and you just walked off instead of jumping, you'd still be 100% accurate as you were falling.
Isn't that when you were walking backwards into the wall while you were doing it? So
no, you could still just like strafe wildly out. Yeah, it was like that for quite some time, but I do get the sense that they've changed that since. Yeah. Then again, I'm not the kind of player who tries to walk off heights a whole lot of the time to wildly shoot at people while midair.
Well, maybe you should just up your game.
Yeah, I'm not doing gamer moves really a whole lot of the time. Not enough, at least.
These aren't just gamer moves. These are epic gamer moves.
Epic, just Dorito gamer moments. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm curious. But I'm pretty sure they did something to that maybe a year and a half ago or something, or even more. Nonetheless, though, probably not going to come into play in this one, considering they are on the opposite sides of the map now, the spawns. Let's see OpTic once more. Show some presence over towards A. Smoke comes down aggressively from Winstrike again, but...
I like that this is a fight. This was never a fight in the old Vertigo, but now because the spawns have changed, the CTs have more map control.
This was a death sentence before.
Yeah.
And Bonding's gotten into a really cheeky position, actually. I'm curious as to how visible he is there.
No, it's super favorable for the T's.
Well, no, Tess had him in a... Yeah, he was on a screen.
Yeah.
Just couldn't see it. It's so dark in there.
It's usually favorable for the T's. I find that angle.
If you could see it.
Yeah. Depends what your
Oh,
brightness
how is that Molotov not burning? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Took a while.
Spray and pray.
That took so long to spread into the corner of Norbert. Eventually, Tessus is going to go down, but the damage has already been done over towards the B-bomb site. They're going to be happy about picking up a weapon at the very least, but OpTic are going to get away with a 5th round. And I guess it also comes into question now with T-spawn moved back, or T-spawns moved back. CT's having an opportunity to go more aggressively, B-side being the way it is in terms of changes. Does that make it more CT-sided than it was? Because obviously we saw a fair bit of T-side domination with how much success teams had with, especially taking that A-bomb site, right?
I think it's hard to like extrapolate it being T or CT sided due to such a small change, because the whole map is different in terms of not only B being different but also mid being different. So all of those are going to play in, and I think it's hard to just go, oh yeah, it's more CT sided because of one thing.
But you could see obviously some benefits for the CTs. Yeah. There's no benefits for the Ts to being put further back into spawn, right?
Yeah.
So that's an obvious advantage for the CTs, but is that actually going to amount to any sort of impact that they can utilize on an average day, right?
Well, I mean, what we're already seeing is these A ramp pushes that Winstrike are throwing in, the deep smoke, the early control taken to some regard. Obviously, you say it's a death sentence. It still somewhat is, because once that smoke fades, you're just committed. You can get wallbang behind yellow. There's no safe spot to be on ramp.
I guess
it can give you more position, I
guess. All right. Wow. Still coming away with a frag there. I was so afraid for Alien to actually just drop out of the map because he was so white.
What's going on here? They've swapped positions. Who's on the T side again? I've forgotten.
That is wild. Well, there you have the aggressive plays, at least. We never saw this on previous versions of Vertigo.
I do like a good old B ramp crunch when you are on an eco. That can typically do well, and they got a one-on-one out of it. But 3-3 here, and Norbert's on the angle. Oh, that's a new little barrel as well next to the pillar. I like that headshot angle. You can crouch behind it. The little cone, not a cone, but what would you call it?
It's a traffic cone.
I mean, it wasn't cone-shaped.
Wasn't it one of the traffic cones?
No. It was a bigger one, more cylindrical than coney. To your right.
Barrel?
To your right. If Edward looks to the right, you can see it.
All right, we'll have a look at that afterwards. Edward's not going to find a kill.
Yeah, they ran past it.
I was about to say, like, you do that.
It's.
Nobody's looking where you want them.
Yeah, they're all over the map. They're on the left.
So it's like a fat cone.
A fat cone, a cylindrical fat cone. That's what it is.
All right, fair enough. I just saw the colors of it, so I was like, that's a traffic cone.
There's one in like back B, where if you stand on, you have a headshot angle into door, into like CT rotate.
Okay, sneaky.
Yeah, there's one that Stewie uses all the time. There it is on your right here.
Yeah.
MSL though, locking in this post plant. Winstrike having trouble on the retake, and they are on eco. Remember that.
Yeah.
But they made it worth its while.
The damage for sure.
Two players surviving.
It was a little bit scary for OpTic there for a moment. They do manage to hold on. So 6 rounds. Again, we can't really say whether or not this is, OpTic doing a great job on the T side or if it's just an average day at the office. It's really impossible for us to tell.
I don't think even these players know, right?
They're just kind of feeling it out. It's like, is this good?
Yeah. Are we doing well? Let's just keep it up. Let's keep it up.
If we get 13, I mean, I think you have to say, we've done all right.
Maybe we've wrecked them. Fast B ramp play, though, for the side of OpTic. There's only one defender here. You can see that big old cone there. Norbert getting flashed in, and MSL getting the shot off. Nico is fully blind. MSL dodged it, and he'll get himself to the back of the site here. Edward watching, and he spotted a... Oh, my dear. He hits the 2-bullet tap onto Nico. Convic almost dropped as well, but can't follow up past the initial dink. It's going to be a 4-on-3 in the post plant. B is so hard to retake, but that will make it easier.
It does help, but you don't have any nades. You don't have Molotovs to clear out angles here. You're going to have to rely on the smokes really that you're sitting with, and that can also be something OpTic can use to their advantage. Timing doesn't favor Quick.
They're still going to go for it though, I think. Nope, Bondig.
Bondig was like, I'm not finding my way out of this smoke.
Yeah, I'm lost.
I have no idea where I'm going. He's going to wait out for MSL. He knows he wants to go hunting. Loses the opportunity as well. Smoke pops down. MSL not going to go hunting for that. He gets caught on the opposite direction though. So,
saving is so hard on this map.
Yeah, it's a tiny, tiny map. It is really small. I guess with the ladder room addition, that gives you extra spots to fumble about up and down, right? Like change your positioning a whole lot more, but it is, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Look how far back they're tucked.
Yeah, really pushed into the corner there. It's not very nice.
Well, that could mean like the world as well. Again, hard for us to say. First map, we're seeing the new Vertigo and whatnot, as we see the updated odds from GG.Bet, heavily favoring OpTic, and can't argue with that as things stand, we think.
Yeah, they're a map up. They're looking good.
Yep. But obviously spawn timings can be a massive thing. Look at a map like Dust 2, for example. If you don't have long spawns as a T side, it becomes pretty much impossible to take long.
Yeah.
Same thing if you're a CT side. If you're not playing spawn-based positioning, it becomes really difficult to hold long if the Ts have decent spawns for long. So, like, just those half-a-second timings, right, that you need here and there can make the world of difference for certain teams.
That's like the best RNG, I think, in any video game. Because RNG I don't like anyway,
Oh,
right?
God,
like,
no.
But you have to have some form of RNG in some way. I think that's like the best RNG in any game, like the spawns, because it completely adapts how you play around.
And you can kind of decide what you want to do with it. Obviously, you can still do stuff even if you get a bad long spawn. You can't do much about if your spray is just wildly going at a random pattern every single time you shoot.
Exactly. Well, at least that's what I say. I'm losing all my fights. But right now, Winstrike on a half buy and a man up as the BX set comes through. This is a cheeky little corner tuck from Norbert, and he's waiting for them to walk up. Ooh, they won't be ready for that. Free kill, and doubles it as well. That's a naughty little corner. Yeah,
that's a new angle for sure.
I've not seen that one.
Me neither, because that obviously used to be just a flat corner. You had the indent, I guess, before you got around to that corner on the old version.
Do they still have that, both indents now?
I don't think the indent is there anymore.
No.
I think that's the big thing. So
that's cool that they've swapped it instead of having those like two like layered positions where you constantly like stack on eco and try and crossfire, but the angles aren't good enough to really crossfire, so you're actually just baiting your teammate.
Which is fun as well, you know, at times, as long as you're not the one falling for it.
Of course. Oh my God, that is a spray.
Nice spray control. MSL on the outside of the stairs, seeing if he can find Quick. Not going to be successful, but great start for Winstrike here. That's also really cool. Like, the CTs can get really far up towards this B bomb site now without just getting utterly wrecked.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a very big thing on the previous edition as well, because you would more often run into a flash from a T and then you die horribly.
Yeah, I like that closed doorway on the B entrance. Instead of it being so wide, if you're on the stairs as a CT, you're like left, right, you don't know where to look. But now you've got a doorway. It's a little more closed, it's tighter, you can transfer sprays, you can watch both at once.
Yeah.
And combated with the fact that now Ts have a better way to execute with smokes, I feel like those balance quite well.
Absolutely.
So MSL throwing utility in. Kvik waiting on the site. The bomb is still below, though.
I was about to say, it's all a ruse, but it's not really a ruse that's building into anything because, yeah, the remaining OpTic players are still just kind of waiting right behind.
This cubby is still here, but it's now actually a crossfire.
Oh, so
and then there's a further cubby behind it.
Exactly, and that's
cool.
That's the sneaky position we saw Norbert in.
Yeah, I like this. This is far better.
Cajun.
Oh, he's been heard.
Yep. Not for the steps, then definitely to the door, and Edward's going to wait as he peers out. Winstrike grabbing a couple of rounds here in a row. Make it more of an interesting contest.
A third on the horizon with no money for OpTic.
Absolutely. Again, we're just kind of learning as we go. Here we see the spray transfer from Norbert.
I've not actually had a chance yet to like play a game. I've run around on the map, but I've not had a chance to actually play a game on this. So still new things that we don't know yet.
Absolutely. I've played 2 games on the new Vertigo. Oh, tries his luck again. Still going to find 2 kills.
How is he getting away with that every single round he's pushing up? Oh!
There we go.
Rolled.
Well, the final Glock on the side of OpTic, not going to do a whole lot either. So 5 rounds, Winstrike, making a game out of this. But yeah, like the angle you get as a CT moving aggressively on that area is so much better now because you can also spot feet from the Ts as they run in way before they can actually see you on the angle.
So I've been a victim of that. Forklift on A.
Yeah. So
watching that wrap.
Absolutely. And I know there are smokes you can throw from CT spawn that lands in the opening of the Ts that should be down within the time of the Ts actually making it to that point. Which could be interesting to see how teams develop that into it if they want to have like aggressive solo holds on the B-bomb site, similar to what we see if you take banana control initially on Inferno. Norbert just relentless with this aggression, finally going to get punished.
Ooh, 3 players on A right now. I don't think they were all spotted. Kvik shows his hand.
I think this is such a nightmare for the Ts. Right now, they've gotten into a point where they can't run around. They don't get map control freely because Winstrike has utility to set up for these aggressive pushes. And they feel really claustrophobic about it.
The weapon switch. CL_loadout space 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Or just do like Stewie.
Which is?
So one of the things that you do to kind of regain focus if you're holding an angle for too long, normally what CS players do is they double tap Q or double tap quick switch to reset, like kind of reset their eyes. They have some movement on the screen, so they're able to refocus. It's called the Kappa effect, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But Stewie just shakes his crosshair, which obviously saves him in a lot of situations.
Yeah,
it looks
smart.
weird, but it's definitely a nice habit to get in for yourself. And Edward's not going to be able to save out the round for Winstrike there. 1-on-3, a little bit too much to deal with.
Couldn't grab the AWP either. Very close.
I'm curious to see how ops are. I feel like with all the changes here, ops are not going to be as prevalent.
No.
They've never were, I guess, too prevalent on a map like Vertigo, unless you're a combat opera and just go full gung-ho. Kenny S fallen, like maybe they can make it work, kind of a thing. But I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of operas here. Again, having high tempo, T side just doesn't really seem like it would be very, very favorable for that. At least as far as we know now. Bondik's going to get into this position again. I like this. I want to see how this plays out. Yeah, no, there's no way any T's are seeing him. That's so sneaky. But I guess the problem is always getting out.
Yeah, you're getting one and done in that. That's like an eco spot more than anything. AWP does reign true for Winstrike. Second kill already found. Maybe a third. CajunB's on top yellow. And Lion is just waiting. He's going to get flashed in by his teammate. He actually looks into the flash. And CajunB takes him down.
Yeah, not a 10 out of 10 execution on that one.
That's why you got to call whether if you're throwing a flash, call whether they should turn. That's something I've learned recently. I've stopped team flashing as much. Turn. Or don't turn. As he didn't need to. It was behind him.
Yeah. It has given a chance for Cajun here to bring this back as well, and we know that he can rotate all across the map. He can use the ladder to get up into mid.
You know he was trying to walk through the old elevator shaft.
We'll see. Oh, he wants to try this out. I just knew it. The second he moved back, he's not going to go this boring all the way up A, not up to B.
This is quicker, though, coming out from A ramp.
Absolutely.
And going all the way through T spot.
100%. You can also get the jump in towards B if that's when you want to go, but he might wrap around the entirety of the A bomb site. Curious to see how long Winstrike are going to hang out over towards B. It seems like Norbert might have a feeling that something's up. Not quick enough, though. Oh, Cajun, though, seems pretty convinced that the other players rotated around.
Oh, no.
That's going to be his demise. One tap to the back of the skull. And Winstrike get their 6th.
Yeah, they've really started to recover in these last few rounds. I'd say 6-7 rounds. That's a damn good side on CT.
We think.
Yeah. I'm just going off of old Vertigo at this point.
I'm just saying, like, from what we've seen out of the weapon rounds where Winstrike have had utility as well, they've been able to get a pretty decent foothold. We see Norbert going aggressively over towards B 3-4 rounds in a row, finding something for it every single time. The same thing with the triple man setups that we've seen aggressively on the A ramp, right? So I guess there is possibility or potential for the CTs to have a bit of an advantage once they get full utility or full buy-in. Remains to be seen. I mean, we don't know if this is something that Winstrike are kind of, I guess, revolutionizing, if not nothing else, because they've decided to pick it this early on. Who knows? Time will tell.
I think a lot of it will come matchup to matchup as well, right? Like every team plays every map differently to some extent. So
absolutely.
It's, you know, when there isn't a particular meta on this map because it keeps changing, because that is going to affect stuff. You know, as much as you can go back to your A defaults and your A smokes, the map is still different constantly. So, you know, I feel like that does play into it, and why some matches you see dominant CT sides, some matches you see dominant T sides, more of which the latter. But yeah, this seems to be running smoothly, running right. Pistols for OpTic last round of the half. They've got to force it. AWP in middle, and Kvik is going to find that opener, fully blinded, and when he gets his vision back, he'll be rewarded with seeing he at least got an opening pick. So chill out now in middle.
The question is what OpTic are going to do with it. They haven't really shown too much mid presence. They do know this smoke at least for mid. Meanwhile, though, Nico's been taken out. Door's still unopened, so MSL don't want to go through that.
Ooh. He had the bomb as well.
Yeah, that was just a very hopeful venture. OpTic, yeah, they didn't really have any sort of idea as to what they wanted to do through mid. Well, that's going to be a 7th. Winstrike, they got on quite the run here. You can see 5 out of the last 6 in their favor. And this is also with OpTic picking up the pistol round.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. It's been the young guns really carrying Winstrike today to some extent. Norbert and Leon.
Yeah, absolutely. Really cool to see how aggressive Norbert continued to be on that B-bomb site.
No fear.
Absolutely.
Edwards actually looked really good today as well. He's had some crucial games.
Absolutely.
Crucial rounds,
yeah,
rather.
for sure. He still has something left in the tank. Obviously, a lot of it comes down to what kind of positions you're left with, what kind of roles you play within the team. Obviously, Navi, he's not going to be the focus of anything, really, when you have simple and electronic. So that's going to take a bit of a hit on your statistics. I think we're going to see a better side of him there from just the fragging point of view, which is to be expected as well. He's not going to go up against the Tier 1 teams of the world every single day either. Well, it's cool to see that a lot of these experienced veterans, when they, I guess, do get tipped off their throne as a Tier 1 player, they still hang around to pass on their knowledge to the younger kids, the new generation of Counter-Strike players. Something that the Brazilians have done very well. Is if you looked at the minors, pretty much every team there had some form of an old head, right? With a pass in MIBR from the 1.6 days.
Let's see this pistol round, though. Winstrike on the T side now, and lots of players spotted early, pushing ramp.
Just like, nope.
I'm out.
Not having anything to do with that. They can't leave the bomb, though. Luckily, they're going to pick it up as well. But how aggressive are they going to continue to be with this? Tessus has found one already on Quick.
Norbert's pushed up on B as well, but Cajun's inside of the site, and he's hearing footsteps pitter-pattering around mid-air, and he finds the kill. Oh, follow-up from Cajun. The wraparound coming from Norbert, but Tessus is ready as well, and it's only the mid-lurk. Nico probably won't check for this, but past the one kill, what can you really expect in this 1-on-4?
Well, at least you got an USP, right? So you have the one-shot possibility at certain ranges. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Makes noise as well. Nobody's near enough to hear it, but timing does not favor misconfig. Strafes around the corner to net OpTic their second pistol. So they're 4 for 4. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. They won both back on the previous map. They lost the second. They couldn't convert it when they were on T side. It was bonded with 3 kills on that CZ against the Galil buy.
The full Galil buy that we're so happy about.
Never go full Galil. OpTic locking in another pistol round, and fully cut from Winstrike. They want to get guns in very soon. This is their map pick, so you'd imagine their T side is, has some depth, and they're using this Glock round to their advantage in spawn, just taking some time to work out what they want to do. But that gives so much room to OpTic. Look at this push.
Talking things that are early on here. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's not like you're going to do anything with this round.
I mean, if anything, maybe OpTic gets a little bit too curious. They start pushing forward. You give up a weapon. Things could happen.
The premium Chad strat for eco rounds previously on old Vertigo was put 5 Glocks on top of the forklift, or like in that area, in that room.
And just wait.
And the amount of times we won that with just Glocks was actually kind of silly, because the CTs would just push one by one, and you'll just get like a 5-on-1, a 5-on-1, a 5-on-1, and you just win the round. So that's always nice.
Abuse the curiosity of the CTs. I mean, so far, they've moved out. I haven't really been able to put too much hurt onto any of the OpTic players. It's been Norbert to go down first. Efficient trade at the very least. And Nico,
Uh-oh.
Dicey. That's a FAMAS. Yeah. I guess, we shouldn't get too excited. It is a FAMAS. Now it's no longer there.
If that was a Galil, maybe Edward would have gotten away. But the chase is on. MSL is hunting down these Ts, and in towards A they go. But Compic's pushed up anyway, and he'll deal with all 3 of them.
It's like organized Shark Week.
Smells blood in the water.
Yeah, it's just nightmare from there on out. Locked inside, trapped inside a little box. Just the Sharks are on the inside as well with you. It's a rough one. OpTic convert, so they don't fumble here on the second map, and that puts them up with 3 rounds of an advantage. Good to see the buy-in coming in from Winstrike. They probably went through that entire round, as we saw. They started out just sitting out in T-spawn, planning what they wanted to do here.
Let's see the fruits of their labor.
They're actually having people towards mid. We didn't really see too much of that from OpTic side.
Yeah, we didn't really see any mid-takes at all, really. Norbert finds a gap in that smoke. Is that a one-way?
I was about to say, is that a one-way? Is that a gap? Or is that just like random pre-firing an angle?
Could be either. The CT's through that, though. Pretty sure MSL did.
Was that the spawn smoke?
No. Because Cajun pushed up close ramp with someone else, and they just threw utility down there.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And Norbert, I guess, had a gap or just spammed or whatever.
Worked out, nonetheless.
5-on-2 now made 4, but Cajun's given away his position, goes straight out and find GG.Bet. That's a effective couple of kills, but Norbert's walked inside of the MTB bomb site and Cajun rotates in, expecting it to be clear. Not going to be the case. Tess is alone, back on ramp, and that's the round. Winstrike will get the plant in. Nice, nice smoke there. Maybe meant for the door, and that one's just as trash. Good job, Winstrike. I'm glad they took that long pause just to work out
how they want to throw it. Yeah, no. All of it is just a ruse to throw off Tessis. He's like, oh my god, all these smokes are coming out. There's no entry into the B bomb site. Little does he know. It's psychological warfare going on here.
Smokological.
Tess is still going to hang around, see if there's any retreating T players he can find. Now that obviously this noise is going to be pretty beneficial for him, hearing so much as to where the T is coming from, positioning himself accordingly. I'm not really sure how the bomb radius is now, if it's changed that much or not. It's not going to be enough to get anyone on the side of Winstrike, though.
So one thing that looks clear from this game so far is it doesn't feel like these guys have, either of them have put in too much time into the new Vertigo, and that's coming down to like the gap above B has not been used once.
Well, you say that it's been used on the side of OpTic. They used it a couple of times for flashes, like for overstairs when they want to go quickly.
No, flashes. Yeah, obviously flashes, but I mean more like executes, like set smoke, set
from
volleys.
Far back.
Yeah, flashes. Anyone can come up with a flash on the fly. Smokes, different story.
That is true.
Nico though, shotgun in middle. They're not ready for that one. Close position. He finds GG.Bet and doubles it up. MSL even finding the third. What a shutdown for OpTic. The bomb, 3 kills, and not a point of health lost. It doesn't get much better than this. Is this a rifle round?
It is. Believe it or not.
Ooh, Bondic looked up though, and there's a skylight above that room. I wonder if you can throw nades anywhere.
Into it, yeah.
Into anywhere, really. I'm gonna sit on Vertigo for like a good hour after this game when we get back.
Just throw random nades everywhere.
Yeah, work some stuff out. Yeah, above this room you can see there's skylights. Yeah. So interesting.
It's like the new pop dog.
Yeah, you don't want to double drop into that. You're going to lose a lot of health.
Could be bloody. Bondic on his end, though, he's going to have to just try to do as much damage as possible. He's got 50 seconds left on the clock. Bomb nowhere near him. He has to suss out where the remaining CT players are, and I'm highly doubtful he's going to be expecting MSL's forward position here.
There it is. Very nice mid shutdown from OpTic, though. We've not really seen too much mid presence from either side. On the terrorist half, more so.
Yeah, Winstrike have gone there twice now, but on the second attempt, getting shut down pretty hard. There's Nico with the forward positioning with the Mag 7, coupling up with MSL to find 3.
They're buying here.
Well, I guess as long as you have the utility, you stand a chance, right? That's probably the mindset. I'm also a little bit curious as to why Leon wouldn't buy actually full utility, because he's got still 1K, right? Well, that could be, but why are you making this kind of investment at this stage, right?
Oh, okay.
MSL learned a new angle.
Yeah, the hard way. That is dirt. Look at that one. How do you even counter that? Nico gets the refrag though for OpTic. It's down to a 4-on-4. It was GG.Bet out in middle. Edward's still in that little, what do we call in that room? Ladder room, I guess.
Yeah, that's the easiest way of going about it. Not gonna
Top
get creative.
ladder, bottom ladder. Nice and basic.
Yeah, not gonna get creative as we did with Mirage. Now, like when we started using that, because that was always the call out in Scandinavia, so that just bled into the broadcast we did early on, and apparently it stuck. Yeah, but you can't really say that on a broadcast.
There are some UK calls that, you know, similar spots, we'll call them. But
Config not deciding to take the same approach as Norbert. He's just going to play off the back of the site. This is where you could get Molotov'd out pretty easily, though, if Winstrike have it. Only one on Norbert so far, though, and they're just going to go off of contact. Oh, did they sneak by without Cajun seeing it? Did.
Deagle spam, though, always a cruel mistress. Edward does get the trade, but there's 2 more CTs on the site, and they will have no problem winning these fights. Leon coming in through, but he's blind from Nico, and Cajun cleans up the frags, and now the lurk getting dropped as well. They were ready for that. And OpTic lock in a 12th round here, looking like they want a 2-0 this series. Winstrike's T-side has been pretty lackluster so far. They're going to have another eco coming through before they have one last final buy, assuming they're not winning these rounds.
MSL on top of the railing, just not aware that his feet is showing. Unfortunate. And we're going to see a couple of instances like that from pretty much every team that goes into this. Part of the learning curve. Yet again, aggressive setup on mid from OpTic. Oh boy.
Later.
Is this going to spread? Is this going to spread?
Yeah.
Oh, yes it is.
They are the worst, aren't they?
Norbert was a believer. He was like, maybe if I just sit really still, the fire won't see me. Because fire works like a T-Rex.
It has tiny arms.
Tiny arms and can't see you if you don't move.
There we go. Well, MSL, yeah, maybe getting a bit too cocky.
Did at least have config nearby to trade for him, so it's not the end of the world. And eventually, Bondic will die to Tessis. All right, so OpTic, I guess, similar story in that sense. Once you're seeing the CT side get full utility, they do stand a better chance than what we've seen in the previous maps. Again, it's been up and down and back and forth on the previous version of Vertigo as well, but I think I like this map more on as a CT with the changes that we've seen. And
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, GG.Bet agrees with us as well, as the odds have kind of skyrocketed away from each other. Now, OpTic heavily favored to close this out, sitting at 13 rounds. Look at the aggression here.
Oh, they've had enough, but it's a 2-for-1. Config can't make it a 2-for-2, and Winstrike have a massive advantage now into this round. Do they speed it up or slow it down? That's a question. It is going to be the latter. Trying to sell a fake Azilian over towards this A site right now, but he won't be committing. He's just going to crawl back. They found 2 A picks. That forced B rotates, and so Winstrike can actually walk into the empty B site right now.
Well, they have to be a little bit quick about it because we can see Nico moving his way back. Cajun's actually on his way too. If they're, a little bit too slow here, there's still an HE on Nico to throw out into the side. That could be the end of Edward.
Oh,
timing.
Yeah. Oh, this is messy.
Really messy, but it still works out for Winstrike. There we go. 9 rounds. They do stay alive with enough players as well to be able to replenish just fine, get utility and whatever they might want. And I don't think we're going to see OpTic play too much more aggressively on that A-bomb site. They've gone twice. We've also had one instance where MSL peaked somewhat aggressively, and it hasn't really given them anything at all. I think we saw more success out of the positioning from Bondic. Even if that was a 1-for-1 trade, it's not really given OpTic a whole lot.
Well, let's see if things start to turn in favor of Winstrike. Here's that smoke that keeps coming down. Norbert just has a huge gap.
It's a massive one.
Yeah.
No wonder he was able to find the first one. But yeah, he does lose the angle on that one. And Norbert has been tucking himself into a corner a fair few times here once he's been the sole player. Oh, the triple boost.
Nice just a double.
Oh yeah, that's right, because of the fat cone.
Yeah, it's the cylindrical cone we call it.
Norbert actually scouts out Cajun. Cajun ducked out.
It's just trades back and forth right now, but OpTic getting the better of the health game. Reboost, I'm all for it.
Let's do it, why not?
Doesn't seem like they are keen though. Rotating back towards B is going to be Nico. He'll get there before them because he's running. Well, he was.
They don't have control over mid though. Right now, that's where Quick is moving about. And there's nobody even close to actually peering in towards it. They could get lucky in terms of having one of the Winstrike players open the door so you get a sound cue to work off of. Yeah. Molotov. I don't think that was meant to go into CT spawn.
No.
I think that was meant for... Yeah. Oh, ooh. This is a position that we saw MVP actually use where they boosted up behind on the container where MSL is finding themselves to peer over the smoke.
Yeah.
Not going to be the case. Instead, it's going to be Tessis to find Edward. And again, this health advantage is doing so much for OpTic. Tessis, nice adjustment there at the end.
Yeah, looks away and instantly snaps back when he gets the peak. 14-9 now, Winstrike. They are running out of chances. I mean, almost run out of chances because they're forcing up for what could be the last couple of rounds. They're going to have the rifles. Not much utility on 2, but...
Yeah, it's very much do or die at this stage. So the pocket pickup Vertigo hasn't necessarily panned out just as well.
We've not really seen any AWPing. Apart from Alien on the CT side, that's been about it. He had it on a couple of rounds on T side to little effect. And OpTic just haven't touched it all game. No halves, no maps, just nothing. No AWP. Don't want anything to do with it.
Nicely lined up nade. It's pretty neat, actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't do crazy amounts of damage onto Quick, but I'd say it's better than most nades we see in CSGO.
30 for a nade, I think is, yeah, you'll take that.
Puts him inside of headshot range with the Colt, right? Oh, you spotted ahead there, MSL, yeah. He knows. Does not know about that, though.
I think that must have been called, right?
Yeah, you'd imagine so.
TeSeS is on the boost, and they are coming his way. Bondic, oh, what a shot. Cajun's got a nade, but it's not going out to the low HP player. They'll be fine. Winstrike are taking their time to execute. They're hoping OpTic overface on the site, and they are a little bit giving them opportunities, but still a 5-on-3. Config's up in rafters.
And Norbert, on his end, he's made it across the entirety of the map. Cajun, you're about to go down. That's an open B bomb site. Only one rotation path really for Nico here to get a drop on anyone. He might actually do so as well. Oh, missed up. Oh, he's going to get caught out from mid as well.
You hate to see that.
How do you mess up that jump, though?
He tried to do it silently.
Yeah, like the walk jump.
Yeah.
Still, it's not that
really
hard.
Precise. I can do it like 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, it's not impossible.
No.
I guess it's like not super easy. Like you need to hit it pretty perfectly.
It's like the difficulty of wanting to be there quick enough to deny a bomb plant, but also doing it without making noise before you're about to drop off the boost, or I guess the window.
Yeah. This is still up in the air though now. Winstrike looked done, to be honest, and now they've broken OpTic's economy, so it's flipped on its head. Shotgun in middle, Config going deep, and Kvik holding for it. Oh, that's all bangable, and he's going to send him packing. Shotgun not connecting. There it is. Actually, an advantage taken for OpTic, and they're going to go right down the ladder as well.
This is going to hear the rotation back as well. Nico tried to get his hands on that AK. He did, but quickly slipped out of his hands. Right now, any sort of quick movement is obviously going to be very telegraphed. Sound cues everywhere. Smokes go out. This is still within an opportunity as long as there are no Molotov there. How patient is he going to be?
You always want to just jump up when you're on that, but it's so risky. Very exposed. Just spamming his deagle instead. Cajun's gone down. They're waiting for the smokes to fade. Maybe MSL can grab a pick, but they move back safely. He spots a head over the top of the smoke. Won't connect a shot. Actually going above the sandbags as well. Everyone's blind. And Bondic going to finish that one off. So 11 rounds to Winstrike. OpTic do a good start of opening up that eco round. But can't do anything past the 3-on-3.
It's tough when you lose pretty much both the weapons that you had the potential of having. The shotgun on Nico and the AK that you dropped on Quick earlier on, because it both flies down the ladder. So there you have it. Another eco coming in from OpTic. They're deciding to play this as safe as humanly possible. Can't really blame them for that either. Only 2 rounds away from securing their spot in the playoffs.
2-0 fashion as well. Remember, there's still Mirage as a decider. I mean,
yeah,
still up for question. Winstrike are pulling this one back on the T side. There's one thing I've learned from all the games we've seen today. It's not over till it's over. We've had so many overtimes.
Yeah, and out of all the maps, really, that's, I guess, in the map pool, just win percentage-wise, it's one of the stronger one for Winstrike.
Oh, Nico. Hello.
How sneaky are you going to be? Oh, are you going to miss the time? Oh, you're going to miss the time? Oh, no, okay. Corrected it.
Oh! No! Hate to see it.
I really do. TeSeS, though, he's not going to miss. So that's Edward down, and Norbert.
Cajun can hear that rotate.
Quick is still on low HP. Oh, okay. TeSeS has gone down. Cajun's been picking up frags. In the meanwhile, though, that's the previously damaged Quick down and out. Still pretty tough for a retake, though. No armor, no kit, 1 flash. I guess it could still justify going for it because they're going to buy up in the next round, but you also have that enticing idea of keeping an AK into the next round, right?
Yeah, and they'd love a bit of money, right? Been on eco after eco, it feels, for OpTic. Finally going to have the funds to invest next round, but they're only going to have a couple of opportunities before Winstrike are nipping at their heels. Cajun looking more so for exits, hoping that someone exposes themselves on the Winstrike side, but they're both tunneled in towards ramp, so it will just be a save call for Cajun.
Yeah.
12 rounds.
Both sides are going to be happy about that that outcome of it. Winstrike get around. Cajun gets an AK. Yeah, 12th round. Only 2 back now, and they had a bit of a comeback working in the works on Train as well. So we know they have staying power. Right now, it's 4 out of the last 3 going in their favor. But as you said, it's been a fair few ecos. on OpTic's end too. And now, Op in play. First time for OpTic. MSL's got to bust it out. He hasn't had the most remarkable game so far, and that might be because the Op is out of his hands.
Until now.
Yeah, we'll see how he decides to play with it. Aggressive play towards B early on. Same nays we saw be the end of Norbert earlier.
Come on, don't give him that kill.
Such a massive gap.
Yeah, you need a set smoke from that. You got hit by the nade though, down to 40. And there it is. I don't know why they just keep giving him that every time. They've never won that fight.
Especially because there's always retaliation. There's always somebody shooting back at you.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
that Kovic doesn't know, but he's been pretty close to just ending the life of a Winstrike player. Oh, last bullet. Easy does it.
Oh dear, this is crazy. OpTic in a 4-on-2 though, and the HP is dwindling by the second. It's down to just Elian, who was tagged up earlier on the B stairs, or outside of them rather. Testis is back on the boost, and even though he's closing the distance, he won't get too far. Oh, he's just scoped. He's making noise. They know it. And there's the swing. 15 rounds to OpTic, 1 away from locking in that semi-final spot. Winstrike, of course, it won't be end of their road here, the GG.Bet Invitational. They're going to fall down to that decider matchup, face against the winner of Sprout versus B-Pro.
Yeah. I mean, we saw B-Pro surprises earlier today, so it's not a given that they're going to be going up against Sprout, which I guess would be the common favorite, amongst the people.
Sure.
But Winstrike definitely showcasing a positive side out of themselves in this series, even though it might end up being in 0-2.
Yeah, they've really put up a fight across both these maps.
Still not over yet. They're going to have what could be the last bye of this playoff stage or the group stage finals. Everyone's going to have rifles as well. There's an AK dropped for Elian. Or an Op, actually.
Nice. Haven't seen much of that on the T side. So
absolutely not. So it's coming out all, at the very end, it's all coming out.
Making all the stops.
Yes, all the tricks.
Oh, dear. Norbert, doesn't matter what side of the smoke he's on, he's got a
massive gap, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's like long on Dust 2, you need a couple of smoke. Or maybe just don't peek it.
I mean, at least if people are shooting back at you every time you go into the same angle, maybe that should be a sign. Here's
a 9,000 IQ Mega Brain play.
Yeah.
Throw the smoke with the gap, and double nade it. There you go.
Or just pre-fire the angle with 2 people,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
Nice that definitely works.
He's just been looking so crisp on Vertigo.
Definitely has. 24 kills as it stands right now. I think it's actually gone past Cajun. So, goes from bad to worse for Winstrike, already in a pretty pressured situation now with 1 man down. They've all gathered up towards the E-bombs, and that seems to be the right place to hit as of right now. You can see the forces on the side of OpTic. Only 2 players here. No real close rotation in the making either. You can see the difference, though, in the 2 hits that we were seeing out of Winstrike and OpTic. OpTic always had Molotovs behind this.
Ooh. Flash did not go the way they wanted it to. Actually rebounded off the pillar. Kvik getting spammed in the smoke, and there's so many smokes down on this site. Bonnic's going to push. They didn't cut off Elevator. He wanted to take the fight, and he'll win it. Nico going to come back in, and Bonnic has his back turned. Kvik is still in the bomb site. The Tessis checks it. 2 on 4 here, and Winstrike have got to hold on, or this could be their end of their road, at least for today. Tessis with another blinding shot, and he is going to round it out with a 4K, definitely above Cajun after that round, and OpTic will solidify a 2-0 victory. 16-12 here. Winstrike definitely put up a fight. I'm pretty, pleased to see how well they did. I didn't expect them to win that game, and yeah, 12 rounds, can't really complain.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised. I also think it was a much more entertaining game of Vertigo than what we've normally seen in the past. I think definitely seeing some more change-ups in how both sides of it play out. I mean, the fact that the CTs definitely are allowed to have more aggression on both sides of the map, whether it's the A or the B bomb side, the fact that Ts actually have different rotation paths is really, really cool to see. So I think this is a step in the right direction for just the development of Vertigo.
Definitely.
This was, much more of an entertaining game to watch.
I'm glad this is the Vertigo we're going to see at the Major and not the previous Vertigo, because people were questioning that, making a change right before the Major. This already objectively just looks better. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And from the little we've ran around on it, for the little I've played on it as well, it feels objectively better as well.
Okay.
So, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can see some teams kind of start specializing in that map. I mean, we kind of saw the impact it had on the map map pool, right? Like once Vertigo came in, we saw a lot more teams start to play Nuke. You know, maybe it's going to be a bit of a change up before the major. It's definitely a bit of a wild card that you can have in your map pool going into.
I'm excited for all the teams that are going to like pocket pick it,
Yeah,
like save
absolutely.
it until
Like,
a playoff
I'm
match.
not going to veto it.
Yeah, why
It's
would I
like-
play Vertigo? I hate Vertigo.
The classic.
Yeah, and then like you're in the grand final and
Like
they pick
BRB,
Vertigo
like we've put
first
in like
map.
120 hours in just this map for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be quite scary. But I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to see more Vertigo in the future, not only here but at the major as well. And of course, that's us done for tonight. That's all our games rounded out here for the GG.Bet New York Invitational. We're going to be back with 3 more days of Counter-Strike here to see which team will be making it to New York. Until then, we're going to go. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. See you then.